So, I I saw Batman versus Superman. Did I like the film? Yes. Did I love the film? No. I thought it was pretty damn good, but I didn't love it. Um, Before seeing this film, I went in and I was just thinking, okay, so and I was thinking I'm gonna put all the criticisms I've heard on YouTube, all the criticisms I've heard from people. I'm gonna put all those uh, all those things to one side and watch this film, get my own take on it, my own opinion, and if the internet uh, wants to kill me for that, they are more than welcome to. But this is my opinion, and so yeah. So basically, internet, live with it. Basically. So this film has a lot of people split down the middle, and because of that, I was rather anxious about my first viewing. But I must say, I was pleasantly surprised with what I saw. Like I said, it wasn't great, but it was very good. I'll get into the negatives first, to get those out of the way. I thought Doomsday was very shoehorned in. It's like he wasn't really needed. He was just there. He was just there, really. He wasn't really needed. He just kind of, like Lex wanted to, Lex Luthor's plan didn't go the way he wanted, so he throws a hissy fit, and suddenly, oh, we have Doomsday, very shoehorned in there, very just put in there, like, and he was there and he was gone. And Doomsday, I was watching this film as a film, not a comic book film, so I wasn't trying to get too pinned down by the comic book specifics, but from what I've heard, Doomsday is a very big um, DC villain who actually destroyed the uh, Justice League. I think he deserves more than the very short, brief time he had on screen. Plus, I wasn't a big fan of the design. He looked just not right. I can't really describe why, but he just didn't look right. Um, Another criticism I'd give it was Lex Luthor. Uh, the, I'm quite a fan of Jesse Eisenberg. I think he's great in the Social Network. I'm a big David Fincher fan, so I've seen I've seen most of his films, and the Social Network. I really like Jesse Eisenberg in that, and I think this performance kind of reminded me of that, but a more hyperactive version, a more villainous version of Mark Zuckerberg, and it just felt more. It felt more like he felt more like Lex Luthor's crazy son. Like he would have worked really well in a story about Lex Luthor's son wanting to get revenge on Batman or something. Yeah, Lex Luthor's crazy son wanting revenge on Batman. He'd have worked well, but he'd have worked quite well for that. Not in this movie. In this movie, it just seems his performance just didn't feel right for the character. Felt very over the top, very just too hyperactive. I got a nice sort of uneasy villainous vibe from him, but I wasn't particularly scared of him, and it just didn't feel I wasn't that invested. But Jesse Eisenberg, yeah, I mean, great performance, but just no, I don't think it just didn't feel right with the character. But it was an interesting approach. It just didn't feel right. I mean, and I guess Lex Luthor's been. I see him as more of a controlled type, more of a controlled, calm type. Yeah, more on top of things and not so static, hot, half the time. Now, my main flaw with the movie would be, I'm guessing everyone said this, but it feels like too many movies in one. Like you have Batman. Sometimes it feels like a Batman movie. Then it feels like it feels like a Batman. Sometimes it feels like a Batman v Superman movie. Then it feels like a Justice League setup, and it's like they can't. It's like they couldn't decide what they were. It's like they were just trying to like catch up to the MCU, which they're not gonna do. you, you can't just catch up to the MCU in one movie and and have a well balanced good film. To Because to do that, the movie would have to be 6 hours long, and that's not going to happen, is it? So they tried to just have all this stuff in there, but it just didn't. It felt very rushed, very compacted in there. Like there were Doomsday and set for the Justice League. Like it was all sort of getting crammed in there, and it was all like it fit. It was a squeeze, and it was all over the place as a result. Then like sort of what Wonder Woman, same thing. I loved Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, but very, it's like they just needed her in this film. It's like they just needed to get her in there, to when I really could have waited. I feel like the Batman v Superman story. I mean, I've read I'm not read. I've watched the animated movie. That's a great movie. I want it to be more like that, more compacted in, more about those two. Not so much about we have to set up the Justice League and we have to show people have to know. I didn't want that, but that's what I got. I wanted a more compacted movie, which and I've said so many times that Batman versus v Superman: Dawn of Justice. That's two titles in one, and that's clearly what they were trying to do with this film: make two movies in one. And it just didn't work. It just didn't work. It was all very rushed, very choppy, just very packed in there, very jam packed in there. It fitted, but it was a jumble, and it just wasn't. As a result, it became its main downfall. I would say. Um, so the pros, not get into the pros. I loved Ben Affleck as Batman. I think I loved Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. Um, I, Ben Affleck's Batman. I think it was well, he played the role very well. He was very cold and also very aggressive, and it's like he did very well in playing a Batman. That he was just as Batman. I love the fact that he was done. He was done with the with the criminal underworld. He was done playing nice. I got that sort of feeling because of what Alfred says at the beginning of the film about about what turns good men cruel. But yeah, I get that. Just got that feeling that he was just done. He was done. He wasn't playing nice anymore. Next, we're gonna get Broken. He was, very angry vibe and very effective one too. It was very effective. I was really pulled in to off his Batman and his uh, Bruce Wayne. Gal Gadot, very beautiful. Very very sort of Catwoman-esque in a way. I like that. I liked she had a lot of she was very charismatic, very beautiful and very kick-ass. She sold the aggression factor of the character, uh, 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 the aggression factor of the character very well. And I loved where the movie was going. what was until you know Doomsday and all that stuff happened. But I loved where it was going. I loved the whole Batman and Superman, like the clash of interests. I loved that it made it pretty damn clear at the start of the movie why Batman, why Bruce Wayne doesn't like uh, Superman. It made it very clear, whilst also making it clear what sort of why Bruce is kind of how he is. I guess it's like we sort of saw into the character's soul a bit, which is actually it's actually quite great. Henry Cavill as Superman, of course. I like him. He was I've not maybe after I've watched Man of Steel, which I haven't watched yet, I'll get more of a more of a feel for him as like in the role. But yeah, he was good. He was good. Um, he delivered a good performance. At this point, that's all I can really say. And oh geez, pros. I think in terms of pros, too, sort of the general atmosphere of the film. It had a nice sort of I say atmosphere and themes. Yeah, I guess atmosphere and themes. I loved how like the whole controversy of people, some people looking up to this godly figure and being in awe, and some because of what happened, some being just like some hating his guts. Like I love that whole controversy of it. The whole political side of it. It was very very um um very um engaging. So yeah, all in all, a good movie. It was a very good movie. Not a great movie because it had a tad more it had a tad more cons and pros, but a good movie all the same. I really enjoyed it. I would definitely go to watch it again. Oh, the action too. I forgot about to mention the action for the pros. Like, I was actually fist pumping, pumping at one point because I couldn't. Well, I was so excited, seeing Wonder. It was when Wonder Woman was fighting Doomsday. It felt like something straight out of a comic. Oh, when Batman and Superman were fighting, great action scenes, great action scenes. So yeah, all in all, really good movie. But I think the cons outweigh the pros just a bit. As a result, it's just a good movie. I'd give it a 4 star. I'd give it a 4 star movie. Really good, but it could have been better if the company didn't feel the need to, jam it down our throats that we're going to get Justice League. 'Cause, we get it. As great as it was to see some of those little cameos, it really wasn't needed. Like the little Flash bit when Flash is talking to Batman, it's like, come on, was that really needed? It wasn't needed. And I think everyone would basically agree that that and the others wasn't really needed. It just felt very It also added to the film's runtime, which did feel a little long towards the end. I was sad about Superman's death, but I didn't need I didn't need it to be quite so. I didn't need the aftermath to be quite so elongated. I mean, it would just felt like it's like I was sad, and it's like the film was trying to make sure I was. It's like the film was trying to make sure I was feeling it, which I was. I was sad, but yeah, it didn't really need to emphasize so much. So yeah, that's my review on Batman versus Superman. Yeah, I'm looking to get my channel started soon, and yeah, I will put down in the description below. I'll make sure that I'm to mention that I mention spoilers. So if you don't want spoilers, I guess don't watch this video. Usually people say that before talking about the film. I do apologize for that. But so yeah, thank you, I will see you on my next review. Goodbye.